Scene is simple. It feels honest, a small pocket of genuine life unfolding under the wide African sun. It is a picture of joy, unposed and unedited, full of the quiet care that binds people together. But then, just a few steps away, I see another scene. A different couple stands against a brightly painted wall, their smiles held a little too long for the camera on a phone. They adjust their clothes, tilt their heads, and take the picture again and again. Their focus is not on each other, but on the small screen that will broadcast their happiness to the world. We live in a time of incredible connection where we can share our lives across vast distances with one tap. A grandmother in a village can see her grandchild's first steps in a city far away. This is a gift, yet this new power comes with a subtle danger. In our rush to capture and share the perfect moments, are we forgetting how to simply live them? Are we allowing the pressure to look happy replace the quiet, steady work of being happy? The line between sharing our joy and performing it has become so very thin. We see it everywhere. On our screens, we see perfect families in coordinated outfits, their homes immaculate, their smiles flawless. We see declarations of love written in carefully crafted captions. These images are not lies, not always, but they are not the whole truth. The whole truth of love and family is messier. It lives in the tired silence after a long day. It lives in the disagreements that are patiently resolved. It lives in the everyday, unglamorous acts of service. When we only celebrate the highlight reel, we risk devaluing the real, beautiful, and sometimes difficult substance of our lives. There was a time not so long ago when love was a language spoken not primarily with words or pictures, but with actions. Love was in the hands that shelled the beans for the evening meal, working in a steady, familiar rhythm. It was in the shared silence on a veranda as the sun went down, a comfortable quiet that needed no filling. It was the trust that a husband had in his wife's judgment and the respect a wife had for her husband's labor. Love was a thing that was lived deeply and consistently in the small, unrecorded moments that made up a day, a week, a lifetime. It was a sturdy, reliable fabric woven from countless threads of daily care. Family life was built on this foundation of lived love. Roles were often clear, sometimes rigid, but they provided a structure of mutual dependence. Within this framework, people showed their affection through dedication and reliability. You knew you were loved because there was food on the table, because your school fees were paid, because someone sat with you when you were sick. Photographs were precious and rare. A single family portrait might have been taken once every few years, a formal occasion demanding the best clothes and a serious expression. These pictures were not meant to capture a fleeting perfect smile. They were meant to document existence, to say, we are here, we are a family. We did not know how to pose for a camera in the way we do now. Our faces simply showed who we were. This is not to romanticize the past. Those clearly defined roles could also be cages, and silence could let hurts fester. But we can learn the value of presence, giving time and full attention. Love was a verb, a steady presence you could feel in your bones. So, how did we arrive here in this new world of curated lives and digital affection? It was a slow, steady tide of many small changes. The growth of our cities is one powerful force. People moved from villages to sprawling urban centers for work and opportunity, and the fabric of family life was stretched thin. A father who once worked nearby now commutes for hours, returning home exhausted. A mother who once had a network of aunties now raises her children in relative isolation. Time, the most essential ingredient for deep bonds, became scarce. Then came the phone. It arrived as a simple tool for communication, but it has become so much more. It is now our window to the world, our photo album, our stage, our constant companion. We hold it in our hands all day long. We look at its glowing screen more than into the eyes of our partners or our children. We are fed images telling us what success, a beautiful body, a happy family should look like. An endless feed of perfect moments reshuffles our values toward what can be seen and measured. Clear, visible signs of success grow louder than the feeling of contentment. We begin to believe if life looks good, it must be good. The speed of modern life has changed the texture of our relationships. We communicate in short bursts. A quick text message, a heart emoji, a shared meme. We feel connected, and in some ways we are. But this rapid-fire communication often lacks the depth of a long, unhurried conversation. Real closeness is not built on emojis. It is built in the quiet spaces, in shared vulnerabilities, and in the patient work of truly listening. When we are always rushing, we skim the surface of our relationships, mistaking the shimmer of constant contact for the depth of true connection. The weight of the picture, how image shapes our homes. Think of a family in a beautiful home in a green, quiet suburb. The parents are educated, kind, and gentle. They want the best for their children, polite and hardworking. Each year, they pose in the garden, smiling perfectly. The picture is lovely. It will get many likes. It will hang on the wall as proof. But it does not show the argument that morning about finances. It does not show the child's secret sadness about being bullied at school. Real life happens away from the camera. In the scramble before school, in shared stories at dinner, in a mother's hand on a feverish forehead, in a father's patient help with a maths problem. If the perfect picture matters more than these daily acts of care, something vital is lost. A child can learn that looking good is more important than feeling good, that the image of love matters more than love itself. This pressure to perform affects couples. Relationships become projects for public consumption. Private moments turn into public performances. It creates pressure to always be on, always smiling, never showing the cracks. But love needs the freedom to be imperfect, space for bad moods, for disagreements, for the unglamorous reality of sharing a life. Children grow up as subjects of a lifelong photo shoot, every milestone documented and shared. They learn to perform for an unseen audience. Anxiety follows, always be pleasant, always achieve, always be worthy of a picture. It robs them of the freedom to be messy, to fail, to be sad, and to be gloriously, imperfectly human. We risk raising a generation skilled at curating images, but unpracticed in living an authentic life. The good news is that we have a choice. We are not helpless victims of our phones or our culture. We can consciously decide to put love and connection first, push back against the pressure to perform, cultivate what is real and true in your own home. The path back is paved with small, simple, intentional acts. It does not require more money or a bigger house, only our attention and our time. First, we must learn to slow down. The world will tell you to hurry, to do more, to be more productive. Gently refuse. Carve out sacred time for real conversation each day, even 20 minutes after dinner, with all phones away. Ask a simple question like, what was the best part of your day? Then listen. Truly listen. Let there be silence. In these quiet, unhurried moments, intimacy is rebuilt. Let a shared meal be a ritual, a time for stories, for laughter, not for scrolling through feeds. Throughout Africa, in our bustling cities and quiet villages, the deep currents of love and family still run strong. You can see it in reverence for elders, hear it in women's laughter as they prepare a wedding. You can feel it in a community building a home or mourning a loss. The beauty of our continent lives not only in landscapes, colors, or music, but deepest in our connections to one another. This is our inheritance, a strength we must not trade for a fleeting image. We have the power to make new habits for ourselves and for the generations that will follow. Content creators, artists, and leaders can fill our screens with images that celebrate deeper truth, show Black African families in all their realness. Laughing, working, arguing, forgiving, honor a mother's strength and a father's presence. These honest portrayals are a powerful antidote to perfection. So have we traded love for image? Perhaps some of us have, a little, but the trade is not final. The choice is still ours to make every single day. We can choose again. We can choose the unhurried conversation over the perfectly crafted post. We can choose the messy, joyful reality of our homes over the flawless illusion on a screen. We can relearn the small sacred acts of care that weave a family together. We can teach our children that their worth is not measured in likes, but in their capacity for kindness and love. Let us begin today. Put down the phone. Look into the eyes of someone you love. Ask them about their day. Listen. Be present. Let us make our home sanctuaries, not stages. Let us be guardians of what is real and true. In doing so, we will not only heal our own families, but show the world a more profound kind of beauty. It is the enduring beauty of a heart that cares, a family that holds, and a love that is lived far beyond the gaze of any camera.